So I'm going to London today to do my workshop at the Linnean Society, and I thought I'd try and take you along as well. I don't know how much I'll be able to film, but first of all I've got to go. One of the most important things is to get all my leaves out of the freezer for biosecurity reasons and pack them in my suitcase. Last autumn I collected a lot of native British leaves local to me, and I pressed and preserved them in glycerin so we could print with them. I'll link a video where you can see in more detail how to do this. I just thought I'd show you everything that I'm taking up for my workshop tomorrow that I'm going to be doing at the Linnean Society. So we're going to be making these books of leaf prints, and what I'm taking, I've got lots of leaves which are still in the freezer, so I've got to remember to take those out. I've got my identification book just to double check things. I've got my worksheets, I've got bits of card, I've got, most importantly, I've got my jelly plates that were kindly gifted to me by Jelly Art. So I've got 12 of those, plus my own one for doing the demos. I've got printing plates, I've got rubbing plates. Probably the most awkward thing is all these rollers, but I've done a trial run and most things got in. These are the covers that I've already cut out and scored. Water wipes, lots of paper, the envelopes that we're going to be printing on. So these are all my paints. You don't need that much when you're printing on a jelly plate, but it's nice to have a big range of colours. So I've decanted them into these tins, and I've got little swatches on them so you can find the colours. And then we needed black for the inside pages, so those are all there. Plus I've got some crayons to do the rubbings with. I've got extra paint in here. I've got pens. I've got little bottles of baby oil because they're good for cleaning the plate with. I've got scissors. I've got a little bit, although we're going to be using paint, I've got a little bit of ink just to show how that works. And I've got some glue sticks. And I've also got some metal spatulas to get the paint out of the tins with. I've got masking tape because that's always useful. And I've got my silver, well, aluminium tape so that if we've got time, we can make our own plates as well. And I'm going up by train and tube, and I'm going to try and get everything into my little roll-along suitcase and a rucksack. So let me see if I can get everything in. I've got everything in here other than my paints, and I wanted to have those in my rucksack so they remained upright. And gosh, it's amazing how much I've got in here. So this side I've got the rollers, the plates, the paper we're going to use and the worksheets. And this side I've got all the envelopes, my samples, my printing plates. And I was so pleased because there's this rather awkward bit where the handle goes through, so it's just an arrow bit, but I've got lots of things that are about that sort of size that are fitted in there. So look, I've even got room to spare. So really pleased about that. And you can see that I've stuck a label, just one of the things that I printed on while I was doing experiments and things, just to remind me to get the leaves. So I've made it here, and that's the view you might be familiar with, Royal Academy. But over in this corner, so it's on the right, left-hand side as you come in the main gate. Come over here. And here is the entrance to the Linnean Society. The Linnean Society was founded in 1788. It's the oldest learned society devoted to the science of natural history, and as well as academic work, it welcomes people from all walks of life with a diverse programme of events, including workshops like mine. We're inspired by the collections and notebooks and botanical recordings of scientists and naturalists. We're going to create our own version in a botanical impressions book. The Society holds the collection of Carl Linnaeus, the Swedish botanist who devised the two-name classification for all living things that we still use today. On the day, as part of the workshop, the participants were given a special look down in the vault at some of Linnaeus's own herbarium samples, where you can still see his original handwriting and labels. Thank you to Will for the exclusive look. We then went to the very top of the building and had a very grand room for our workshop with a wonderful view over the courtyard. After laying out all the leaves and the tools for each participant, with the help of Anna, thank you, we spent a creative 3 hours printing our pages and book covers. Most of the students hadn't done printing before, but I think they managed to produce some really beautiful results. I filmed a 2-part detailed tutorial showing how to make your own botanical impressions book, and it can be of your garden, of the countryside where you live, of a park, or you can just reflect a season or a favourite walk. And it's going to be up very soon on YouTube in collaboration with Jelly Art.